Afternoon world, it's 1:30 in the afternoon, UK time on Monday the 2nd of October 2023. Right, I hope about 12 hours ago that many of you worldwide, if it was dark where you were born, were out there looking at the sky. There was a spectacular moon conjunct Jupiter last night. You'll see from the GIF on the front of this video, I took it from literally outside my front door. Bright moon with Jupiter just underneath it around about 6:30 from where I was, around 50 degrees north. And that was a lovely, lovely energy. That was late last night, UK time. And it made me want to do this video today based on what's going on, because there's a few things going on which are either right now and or brewing. And it'd be easy to get caught up in all the hype and spin of the coming few days. So I want to have a look at more, as best as I can, from a dispassionate perspective of what's going on. Firstly, right now, Venus is finishing its square to Uranus, and in the next few hours, i.e. before the end of the play today, the moon will have cleared, it would have conjuncted Uranus and cleared that conjunction, and it would have squared Venus and cleared that square. But the Venus-Uranus square, which has been around for this last few weeks, is now clearing, and today will be the last day of it. There may be a degree of short-term emotional volatility based around money and or love for those of you who are being directly impacted by Uranus today, by which I'm in the next 12 hours from this video. But that's immediate short term. Also, in this next 12 hours, Mercury in the sky will be exactly opposite Uranus. Mercury's in Virgo, the sign that it rules. Neptune's in Pisces, the sign that it rules. Mercury's been in Virgo a long time because of its retrograde situation, and that's normally a pretty weird situation, because normally Mercury only spends 3 or 4 weeks in a sign, but to spend 11 weeks in a sign because of its Mercury retrograde, yes, that's unusual. Now, Mercury is about to leave Virgo, and it will leave Virgo in the next 3 days. Okay, so I'm not worried by this, but what this means is that there's, at the moment with Mercury in Virgo, it's normally a position where there's logical, rational, analytical, functional and effective, detailed analysis. But opposite Neptune, anybody born with a Mercury opposite Neptune, I don't care what sign Mercury's in, I'm going to be saying, look, you're not a creature of logic, rationality and analysis. You're much more a creature of imagination, creativity, artistry with word. Now, Mercury's in Virgo, which is where it's really strong. So even with Mercury opposite Neptune, a child born today is going to have a strong capacity for effectiveness and efficiency and focus, but it's still going to be diluted by Neptune's dissolving energy. So this is not a creature who's logical, rational, analytical. It's more someone who's a playwright, a poet, a dramatist, a photographer, a filmmaker, someone who's good at communicating without logical ways, in ways that are artistic, that empathise the capacity for compassion and empathy, kindness and spirituality. It's a great aspect for a poet or an author or a screenplay writer. Their ability to capture in word the love, the intuition, even the magic of Neptune is strong. But today's not a day for logical, rational analysis. And this is backed up by the position of Mars. Mars is now in Libra. It's nearing the end. It's going to leave Libra in about 8 or 9 days' time. But Mars is all about me, me, me. And Libra is all about us, us, us. So Mars in Libra doesn't work because it constantly finds that its individual identity energies are dissolved by Librans' energy about teamwork. However, the positive side of Mars and Libra, one of my best friends has this, and she's very good at sort of empowering other people around her to work in a team. And when the team effort is completed, she'll happily show people around and go, yeah, this is what we did. This is our group project. That's my bit down there in that corner. So individuality within the context of a team is a positive way of expressing Mars in Libra, whether that team is a collective and group or whether it is a relationship. But square Pluto. Pluto's standing still. It's stopping going retrograde in about 8 days' time. The Mars-Pluto will be exact in about 6 days' time. When Pluto is standing exactly still, just about to move forward, this is when it's at its strongest. And with Mars square Pluto, the negative side of this is around anger management, warfare, violence, impulsive, spontaneous, rash, lashing out against the imposed order. A neutral way of manifesting this is more about the concept of purging and detoxing, cleansing, purifying, eliminating, releasing of the poison so that the future can come in without negotiating old baggage. And a positive way of expressing this is through incisive, acute, focused, sharp action in a way that does not have room for emotion or feeling, but does what needs to be done in a yes-no, black-white way. Because Mars Pluto's standing still in Capricorn, a sign of world government and world leaders, I do feel that this is going to result in some type of sudden shift in one or two positions of power. And I expect one or two heads of state or heads of corporations or banks. There's some type of figureheads or figureheads, plural, about to find that there's a knife wielding their way towards their back. Metaphorically, I stress. But this is something incisive, sharp and pointed, whether it's a dagger, a javelin, an arrow, or just some words delivered in a very acute way. Anybody who is being affected by Pluto at this time, the last 3 days of Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, Libra, then this next 5 or 6 days is a time where I'm not trying to make you suspicious, I'm trying to make you cautious. Watch your back. There seems to be an element of subversive, coercive, even manipulative energy around it. If your instincts are telling you that something's wrong, listen to them. Gut instinct never lies. With Mercury opposite Neptune and Mars coming up to square Pluto and oppose the North Node, it does point to some monumentous things happening in the next few days that's going to astonish quite a few people. There may be an element of Schadenfreude here. But this is set against the backdrop of the total eclipse of the sun, the Ring of Fire that's coming up on the 14th of August across America. And I will be doing videos in the next day or two on both America, because I haven't done one for a couple of years. The trolls put me off, but I'm strong, more thick-skinned now. And also I need to do a video on Australia. Not only because a lot of people from Australia are asking me, but I will because there's a bloomin' referendum on the time of the eclipse in Australia. Which is pretty weird. To have a referendum on the shadow of in imminence of an eclipse is asking for trouble. So I will be doing a video on that. So, Mercury opposite Neptune, Mars coming up to square Pluto, Pluto standing still, getting ready to move forwards again in Capricorn, a big eclipse happening. And then a lot of my friends and students and other astrologers are saying to me, yes, Steve, and under this energy, you're choosing to do a weekend workshop. And I'm going, yeah, I am. And they're looking at me and going, why? You should be hiding under the bed with all this energy. And I thought, well, yeah, many people I am saying, well, look, stay low, stay in the background. But that's my advice to humanity in general with this type of energy. But I can't hide under the bed. It's not my style. So I'm going to go out there and, no, this is not just going to be a normal weekend workshop. I'm going to try and imbue this weekend. The first day is going to be dealing with a few of the basics of astrology and the history of astrology and getting it right. And that's going to set the framework for the second day. And the second day is when I'm going to try and bring some magic into it. Now, I do not mean magic as in hocus pocus, fancy trickery. I'm not going to try and seduce the audience. I'm going to try and empower the day with that Mars, Pluto and eclipse energy, and use that day to help other people transform their lives for the better, to get people not only in touch with the academic, the mental and the intellectual side of astrology, but to actually feel the empowered, power-filled side of astrology as it flows through them. I'm going to try and create something unique here. But that's more on the Sunday than the Saturday. Now, there's still about 8 to 10 places left. I'm not going to sell out. So if you want to come for the weekend, or even just for a day or two, or both days, you're most welcome. steve@stevejudd.co. But this is an interesting time. And it's potentially quite a risky, dangerous, risky, no, too strong. A time where you either come out strong in yourself and you deal with stuff, and you deal with it, or you hide under the bed. Of course, if you hide under the bed, there's a risk the bed will collapse on top of you. But it's like this now. This isn't going to be like this. Well, this time next week, we'll be through Mercury. Mercury will have changed sign. Mars will be getting ready to leave Libra. The eclipse is in 12 days' time. Big shift in the energy from the middle of October onwards. But this next couple of weeks is going to be interesting. Yeah. So dance with it. Surf it. Flow with it. Learn with it. Enjoy it. Catch you later, world.